Shall we get into September solicits for DC Comics, everyone?
Yeah, because I didn't realize this was this week, and like,
Yeah, I didn't either.
Joe, what's so weird
I need
about
a
this is
nap.
because a lot of the books are taking 2 months off. A lot of these are literally the next issue from what we read today. It's like issue 3 of this issue.
Yes, it'll be fresh.
So that said, there's a few new things. Kick it off. So this is September's DC Comics solicits. We have Batman and Robin issue 1 by Joshua Williamson and Simon DeMeo.
Simone.
Oh, sorry, Simone DeMeo. Sorry. So, did we hear about this before? This seems familiar, but I also don't remember actually hearing about it.
I don't remember hearing what it was about, but just maybe Williamson was doing a Batman and Robin book.
I don't remember, but also I just assume it was announced and I tuned it out because Williamson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all pretty lukewarm on Williamson right now. That said, though, my favorite thing he's written was the Robin book. So if that has some of that DNA in it, because he's doing more Damian,
Yeah, maybe.
it'd be fun.
Well, and based off of what it says here too about it, as us for Batman versus Robin and Night Terrors, a lot's happened to the dynamic duo, but now they're back together and ready to fight crime in Gotham, just in time for Batman's most monstrous rogues to team up and turn the city into an urban jungle. So that does sound more like Robin. There's like a pulpy funness to it.
I'll put it this way: if Detective Comics is the A-tier book, this could be a fun B-tier Batman book, because the main Batman book right now is at like a D level for me. So
I just realized we're going to get further down these solicits. It's going to be that bloody crossover.
Yep.
Oh, get ready! Another villain's taking over Gotham, everyone, for the 5th time in the last 2 years or whatever it is.
Gotham cannot catch a break, man.
It's actually longer than that, but it feels like that.
Yeah, how does anyone still live there? That's what I want to know.
That's the baffling.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It has to be dirt cheap.
That's probably accurate. More interesting, more exciting. We were praising the news of this in the last couple. I don't know if Matt was here for this, actually.
I don't think Matt was here for this.
No, but I remember being in the airport when this dropped. So yeah.
Yeah. Birds of Prey issue 1 by Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero. Of course, we talked about this as it was revealed over the last couple of weeks. Super excited that Thompson's finally at DC. Couldn't be happier.
Again,
How does Matt feel about the lineup?
Good question. That's your cue, Matt.
Sorry, I missed what Connor said. All I heard was something about the lineup.
He said, "How does Matt feel about the lineup?"
Oh, it's fine as long as Batgirl and Canary are there. I can deal with a revolving door, if you will, or if this is just the solid lineup. But like, I like Barda enough. Zealot's a weird choice, and of course Harley.
Yeah,
but I'm curious to see how Kelly Thompson writes Harley, because I'm trying to think back to the DC stuff that Thompson wrote.
Not a lot.
Yeah. So, but it's Leonard Romero too, and that was the Hawkeye and West Coast Avengers team. So I'm very excited.
No, I am super pumped for this. Even a character like Zealot, I think it's much easier to make me care about one character that I don't know than a whole team like, Wildcats had that problem.
Yeah, like even if you don't care about Harley so much, you're familiar with her. It's like you know what to expect.
And getting her out of the Suicide Squad too, I think that's a good move.
And as I said, I said this when it came up as well, but Thompson made me read a Rogan Gambit book, and I cannot stand Gambit, so I think she'll be fine with Harley. Just a sneaking suspicion. So we got that. We got Blue Beetle issue 1. This is Josh Trujillo, who's been doing the miniseries, the Graduation Day miniseries, and Adrian Gutierrez, who I think was also the artist on that book as well.
I think so.
That sounds right.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, just from doing the list
kind of like
names. Yeah.
A sequel on from that book, I guess.
I think so. I think this is just basically turning it into an ongoing. So. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, the movie's coming out, so it makes sense.
That's right around the time the movie should be due, right?
Movie will be out in August, I think, so this will be about a month after.
It's very notable that if you look at the date, this is the 5th of September. They're getting this out as close to that movie as possible.
Yeah.
They couldn't break the Night Terrors to get their Blue Beetle book out a little earlier.
There's something smart for it to not be like bang on, I think, because you don't want to be too early with comic stores, because too early and it's gone. But the idea, if it's like a week or two after the movie comes out, people see the movie and they're like, oh, hey, they'll go into a comic store the next weekend, and maybe this will be there waiting then. Maybe.
It's optimistic, but...
It is optimistic.
Well, I just know that Marvel, when Ant-Man came out, right, the movie, they had that first trade ready to go, the Nick Spencer series.
Yeah,
because
I think the trade would have
immediately
been
went
smarter, but they can throw a graduation day trade.
there too.
And given that the character's just finishing high school in the movie, the graduation day trade probably will feel quite fitting to go with it.
Yeah.
All right, next we have The Flash issue 1. This is a new series launching after 800, of course, with Cy Spurrier and Mike Diodato Jr. I quite enjoyed the tease of this in issue 800. Did you get a chance to read that yet, Matt?
Oh yeah, I read that. Very, very, a lot of fun stuff in there. But yeah, that Cy Spurrier story was a bit, cosmic horror-y with Wally. That's a new kind of vibe. So that's cool.
Yeah. So no, it had me optimistic for this. So looking forward to it. I suppose this and Wonder Woman get the benefit of, because they're starting fresh after Night Terrors, the gap doesn't feel that bad for them. But everything else less so.
Yeah.
So this is something that actually got announced before last week's episode, and we just didn't notice it.
Did we miss it?
Yeah. Oh. But we have a second Green Lantern book coming. It's Green Lantern War Journal issue 1 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, and it is spinning out of the backup that's in the current Green Lantern book.
Yep.
I stand by what we said about that backup then, that it shouldn't be just a backup. Honestly, it probably should have just been a first issue of this book, or a one-shot to lead into it, maybe.
They've been doing that a lot lately, because that's also how the Robin book started, remember? It was in the backups.
It was a 2-part backup story. Yeah, I remember that in Detective.
Yeah. But this is going to be at least 3 parts, because it said continues after Night Terrors.
Yeah, so, if you look at the solicit for Green Lantern later, it actually calls it a lead-in to this now. So
so it's a 3-part. Each one's been about 8 pages. We could have had just a one-shot. Or that could have just been issue 1
or issue 0, whatever. Take your pick.
But
no, I mean, I think obviously I like Johnson as a writer, and I'm seeing glimpses of stuff I like in that backup, but it's not got enough pages. We were talking about this last week, that it just doesn't have enough to really hook you on what it's doing. So I am glad this exists. I'm glad that there's a second Green Lantern book, and I'm glad it's him writing it.
It's kind of frustrating though, because I think I'd be more excited for this book if I didn't have that, if that backup didn't exist and hadn't slightly soured me on this team and this book already, right? Because it's not that backup's bad, but I'm really struggling with it, and I feel like if it didn't exist and I hadn't read that at all, and then I saw this announcement, I'd be more excited.
I think that's a bit harsh. I don't think I feel soured. I'm excited for this because I think this will work. I'm sure it will work probably even if you hadn't read the backup. So
hopefully,
I think this will give Johnson room to breathe to actually establish all these ideas that he's trying to do, and we'll see from there. I'm not familiar with Montos, the artist.
No,
off the top of my head.
On those backups.
Is it the same artist?
I'm 90% sure of that.
Oh, that art was pretty good then. Oh, so okay.
I gotta read. That's one of the books I didn't get to. So I gotta get there. But
double check real quick.
The specter of this book is what got a person to say that I wasn't a real Green Lantern fan online months ago. So that was fun.
Not that Matt holds grudges or anything like that.
No, famously not.
But I was like, why are you getting upset for a book that hasn't been announced
yet? It's fine. It's okay. Some random dude on the internet months ago said something mean about you. It's okay.
I'm just saying, they were getting upset.
Matt, have you been on the internet before?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because you're taking this very personally.
Well, no, don't call me a fake Green Lantern fan because I think it's stupid.
Matt, it's fine. Just cut it.
No.
Cut it. Okay.
No.
It's cut.
Deep breaths, Matt.
I'm just saying, there's room for a Hal Jordan book and a John Stewart book. They don't have to both be Hal Jordan. All right.
Carter, what you said?
It is the same artist as the backup,
okay.
So this feels like it's very much a direct continuation from that.
Then we have Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War Battle Lines issue 1.
Guys, look, I'm gonna be honest.
$6.
I'm skipping this. I'm done.
I don't want to read this. After we've got 2 issues of Night Terrors and then a $6.
Yeah. I'll have enough Batman with tech and with the new Batman and Robin Williamson book, so we're okay.
It makes me laugh.
Smash cutting out of me going like, I can't believe I'm reading this.
Yeah.
Every time Matt says he's not reading something, he reads it.
It'll be a quiet week, And I'll blame Matt. You should just read it because there's not a lot of books. We might as well have something to talk about. We could talk about how bad it is.
David, do you want to just timestamp this now?
So you
make a note for in September.
Oh, shoot. I'm looking at what the next thing is, and I can't completely skip the event because of the creative team on the next book. So great.
Well, you mean Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War Red Hood issue 1?
Sorry, is Mike excited for a Red Hood book? What's happening?
I'm excited for the writer and the artist. So
go ahead and pronounce the artist name for me, Matt. Go on.
I believe it's Chemeshka because I looked it up because
that sounds not bad.
Yeah, that was the artist that did the Zatanna and Batman in Urban Legends.
Like, I'm just saying, if you've got 3 different accents over different letters of your name, I'm terrified of it. I'm not going to say it.
Yep. I think it's Chemeshka, which, look at some of those Czech names in hockey, and you get practice.
Matt Rosenberg is the writer on this bad boy.
2-issue mini.
Yeah, they're all 2-issue minis, the tie-ins to this.
Just making it clear in case this is the first one.
Yeah, Batman 137, of course, is the first Batman issue related to this crossover, and then also Catwoman 57, likewise. So
George Jimenez, why are you doing this to me? I love your art so much.
Jorge, Matt.
Jorge, I mean.
George. The Penguin issue 2. This is the Tom King series that's coming. So very intrigued by that. And that appears to be the character that was introduced in Killing Time on that cover, Matt, unless I'm mistaken.
It does. Looks like the Help.
Yeah. So that's kind of exciting.
It does say that in the description as well.
Oh, yes, there he is. For starters, the Help, the Merciless Stuff. Which is good because I like Killing Time. That might be my favorite Tom King Batman thing.
I thought you were going to say favorite Tom King thing. I was going to be like,
no,
I liked him, Matt, but really?
Sorry, Human Target exists. Come on.
Yeah, he's got like 4 all-timers at this point.
No. But no, between his Batman, it's between that and then the Mr. Freeze story with Bruce on the jury. That was strong as well. But just teased with the Help, and I'll probably read.
Yeah. I think you weren't going to read that anyway.
True.
Batman Brave and the Bold issue 5. Notably, this has the 5th and final part of this, the Tom King story. The first Joker Batman conflict, which was the first part of was excellent. Like, it was absolutely phenomenal. No, I am looking forward to more of that. Cover. But what do we have here? Detective Comics 1074. So continuing Ram V's run.
What a cover! I mean, let's be honest, most of the covers, but.
Yeah, but this one especially. That's got some cool stuff going.
Yeah. We have Nightwing 106. Is that a big octopus I see on this cover?
It is. It's doing sea terrors, which means I'm going to love it.
So yeah, very good. Then we have Harley Quinn 32. We have Poison Ivy issue 14.
Hey, let's go.
Is that Bloom that's on the cover?
Oh. Or it's Floronic Man, judging by how the last issue ended.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I just saw a flowery face and thought.
It does say, it also says a brand new villain in the Poison Ivy.
Oh, maybe it's a new villain then. Yeah. Then Wonder Woman issue 1, the Tom King series we know is coming, with art by Daniel St. Pierre. We got Power Girl issue 1, which is kind of spinning out of those backups that Leah Williams did. She's writing this with Eduardo Pansica and Julio Ferrara on the art. So
I'm seeing a Gary Frank cover. All right.
As if Matt didn't want this book enough.
Right, I'm gonna get it anyways, but yeah,
but it probably just jumped to physical, I think.
Yes.
Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville, issue 1. They announced this a while ago, but I'd forgotten about its existence entirely. So nice to be reminded. Green Lantern issue 3. Again, still has the backup, but I presume the backup will change soon after that issue to something else.
That, or it'll go down to not having one.
Possibly, which would be fine too.
Yeah.
Shazam issue 3, Mark Waid series with Dan Mora, of course.
Dan Mora continues
it's got
to be
apes in it.
What was that, Matt?
It's got apes in it. I'm excited.
Matt, you're such a simple man at times. Titans issue 3, Taylor and Scott.
I kind of hate we have to wait months now for issue 3.
I know.
So I'm appreciating that Newsarama now it's I'm able to see all the covers as of right now, but they don't have any of the variants.
They don't this month, no.
To click through, because I want to know what the Jim Bartel cover is.
It's possible they haven't been released to them.
That could be.
Yeah, but none of these things have variants, so maybe that's DC have changed their policy about what they release early, or who knows what.
Unless they've got a separate article on it for covers. They've done that in the past.
Cyborg issue 3 coming out. Then we have Superman issue 6.
That's a good cover.
Action Comics 1057. Also a pretty good cover, I would say.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just swinging.
Yeah, very pretty. I've been loving these Steve Beach covers for Action. I think they've been a nice, like, ever since he started doing them, I've just kind of liked them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all feel like poster quality, you know?
Yeah, really good stuff. Green Arrow issue 4 with Williamson. Then we have Hot Girl issue 3. We have got Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow issue 6, which is the final issue of that miniseries. Steelworks issue 4. We got Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue 6, which is not the final issue. I thought this was 6 issues, but it's 7 apparently.
Yeah.
So I'll take the extra one.
Yeah, so let's not complain about that.
No. If you want the October Solicits to say 7 of 8 and keep it going, I'm not going to complain. So, DC's Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun issue 1. This is their annual October anthology special.
And this is the first week of October. They've just solicited it early for some reason.
Yeah. And I have to say it's mostly creators that I do not recognize. Like, I recognize Dexter Soy in the artist list, but there's a lot of names that I'm not recognizing from anywhere.
Yeah. But the story's on here, right? It says, Superman imprisoned by an unfriendly ghost, Man-Bat versus a werewolf, Mary Marvel and Dr. Psycho crashing a Halloween frat party. Seems like a lot of fun ideas.
Yeah. We got a new Black Label book that we heard about in the last couple of weeks, which is Batman Gargoyle of Gotham by Raphael Grampa, which does seem like it might be quite good.
And it says also there's a noir edition as well. Black and white.
Yeah. Now I'm looking forward, because honestly, Black Label have been pretty good as a line. I mean, they're quite few and far between these days, but when they do have one out, it does feel like a special book. So be curious to see that. Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor issue 2. This is the Wade book. This is issue 2 of 3, which I don't. It is actually a Black Label. I was going to say I'm not sure if it's actually classified as Black Label, but it is.
Okay.
So, but it's prestige size issues. So we have Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker issue 5. We got Batman issue 1 facsimile edition. That can't be the first time that's had
a bunch of facsimile editions now.
But that can't be the first time that's had a facsimile edition. Like issue 1, I'm sure that's happened before.
Yeah.
It must have.
Well, is this the first one with the credit to Bill Finger, solo writing credit?
Maybe actually. Yeah, maybe that's
pretty cool.
Part of the reason for it. Yeah, that's cool. Detective Comics 58 facsimile, Flash 105 facsimile, Wonder Woman issue 1 facsimile.
Jeez.
It's the Perez one.
Yeah, from the 80s. So, yeah. Then we got Batman Beyond Neo Gothic issue 3. We got Batman Incorporated issue 12.
Not a final issue?
Still not a final issue, apparently. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't say it's a final issue, so...
Yeah. Maybe Ghostmaker's a hit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but maybe. World's Finest issue 19. Up next, with Riddler on the cover, like a Riddler story.
It's a great cover.
Then we got City Boy issue 5, which has got some Swamp Thing on the cover.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting thing. It explores, City Boy and Swamp Thing is like, because he feels cities and senses them. Swamp Thing obviously feels nature and all that, so makes a lot of sense. Danger Street issue 9, with another fantastic cover here.
It is. Honestly, I thought that book was over already.
Oh, no. We've got...
No, it's 12 issues.
Yeah. So, no, very good. It's basically a building, like a skyscraper, and there's like two people fighting on the roof. And they're too small to really see who they are. Maybe if I saw it in bigger size, I could tell. But they're being struck by lightning, and it's actually like messing up the text of the title.
Judging by the solicit, I'm going to guess it's Manhunter and Codename Assassin.
Yeah, that's
the most likely pairing based on the story so far anyway. But
it looks like they're fighting with swords or something at the top.
Yeah.
So
we got Fables 161. We got Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder issue 3. We have Looney Tunes 274, Mad Magazine 34. We got Peacemaker Tries Hard issue 5, Spirit World issue 5. We have Static Shadows of Dakota, issue 7, which is the final issue of that book. We have Superman Lost, issue 6, of 10, of course. Tales of the Titans, issue 3 by Steve Orlando. We have the Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, issue 12. The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue 10, which is still going. Really? Okay. We have Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House, issue 5. We have The Vigil, issue 5. Wildcats, issue 11. World's Finest Teen Titans, issue 3. Which I forgot that was a thing, but...
Yeah, me too.
That's probably because it's not started yet, and that's one thing we've got to look forward to in these Night Terrors months. We got this starting.
We got that. You got the Hawk Girl.
Yeah, Hawk Girl's starting in the next couple of months.
And I think there was one other thing we've mentioned in these solicits that must be still starting in the next couple.
Yeah, there's a few books.
There's
still
at least
going.
one other, like issue 3.
Yeah, there's a few books that are still going as well throughout these couple of months. It's just none of the
main ones.
None of the main like universe stuff. So that is just the collections, which I'll just run off quickly. You get Riddler Year 1. You got Sandman Universe Dead Boy Detectives. You got Batman 3 Jokers. You got Static Shadows of the Dakota. Icon versus Hardware. Joker 1 Operation Joker Volume 2. We got Superman versus Meshi Volume 2. We have Batman Wayne Family Adventures Volume 2. Vixen NYC Volume 2, Superman Volume 1 Supercorp, Adventures of Superman John Kent, Superman The Warworld Saga, paperback of that.
That's a meaty paperback.
Yeah.
Yeah, 700
pages. That's hefty.
$60.
That's, to be fair.
Yeah, for 700 pages, that doesn't seem that bad, Matt.
That's like what?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying for 700, that's a deal.
Yeah.
17 issues of action, couple of annuals, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 specials and a 2-issue mini. That's hefty.
Yeah, it's pretty hefty. It's basically an omnibus, an all but name. Stargirl Lost Children. We got Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods. Absolute Dark Knight New Edition. Which is both Dark Knight Returns and Dark Knight Strikes Again, which has always felt a bit scummy to me. They're basically forcing people to pay for the one that no one wants, so they can have Absolute Dark Knight.
It is, but it's not that much more expensive than other Absolutes anyway.
I mean, that's fair, but it would be much cheaper, though, if it was only the 4 Dark Knight Returns issues. Because keep in mind, Dark Knight Strikes Again, isn't that like 12 issues or something like that?
No, it's just 4.
Is it just 4? Okay, they're big issues, though, right? Because the trade, I remember being quite thick for what it is. We're just going to awkwardly sit here whilst Connor looks at his bookshelf.
I don't know which shelf it's on. I have the Noir edition, which is quite hefty somewhere.
Yeah. I think they're like 50-page issues, if I remember right, but...
Probably. It's like 500 pages for the 8 issues.
So, anywho, we get Aquaman Andromeda, which I highly recommend, everyone. Make sure you check out that. Gotham by Gaslight 2023 edition, Batman Reptilian new edition, that's the Garth Ennis book. Batman the Hush Saga omnibus. This is interesting, actually. This is obviously the Hush story, but it's also all the Streets of Gotham stuff that involved Hush that Paul Dini did.
Interesting collection, but I like all that stuff a lot.
Yeah, no, so do I. If anything, I might like that stuff more than Hush itself, to be honest.
Hush is not the best story. I think it's possibly the best beginner Batman story, though. Like, as like someone's first Batman story, I think it's great for that, because it's like, here's a rundown of a bunch of villains. It looks great. It's like, almost like a little greatest hits.
Yeah, it was an excuse for Jim Lee to draw DC characters.
Yeah. And it's a lot of fun, but it's not a great story.
And I do like what it leads to, though. Because I do like Hush as a character and the reveal of who it is, and then I like Heart of Hush even more.
Yeah, that's in
I like
here.
that a lot more.
Yeah, the Gotham Knight story or issues are in here. The Detective Comics, which is the Heart of Hush stuff, and then all the Streets of Gotham issues that kind of finished off all the Hush story at that time period.
And a brand new short story from Batman Hush 20th Anniversary Edition.
That's cool.
Oh, very good. That's an interesting collection. We got Catwoman Volume 3, Duchess of Gotham, DC New Frontier, the Deluxe Edition, New Edition, Ex Machina, the Omnibus, New Edition as well. So that's there. We got Fables, the Deluxe Edition, Book 16, JLA, JSA, Virtue and Vice, Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth by Jack Kirby, Volume 2. Super Sons Omnibus Super Duper Edition, which is basically, this is a reprint, because they did an omnibus before they did the second series, I think, and they did an omnibus with everything, and this is a reprint of that omnibus with maybe a few extra bits and pieces. But
has it got any of the newest stuff?
It says a story from Robin's 80th anniversary.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's kind of weird that this of all the omnibuses I can think of that have been reprinted, this is the one that seems to have had more content put in it every time, making the previous versions kind of redundant.
Obsolete.
Yeah. Whereas, because normally it's got a different cover, it's just a new print, and so it's available, but you're not missing out if you got the older version.
In some cases, you are better getting the new version, because DC's bindings used to be awful.
Yeah, it's gotten better, but, as far as the content goes, there's nothing...
Yeah, there might be better quality bindings now, but the content's mostly the same on the vast majority of them.
Whereas this one, it feels like every time it's been like, no, this is like a Game of the Year edition, where you get the extra bits and pieces that were included before.
It feels like they kind of rushed that first one out.
Yeah. Superman for All Seasons getting a new printing, so that's there. Superman Unchained, Deluxe Edition, new printing. Detective Chimp Casebook, Human Target Volume 1, softcover. I assume that already had a hardcover.
Must have done.
Yeah, Titans United Blood Pact, Waller vs. Wildstorm, hardcover, Wonder Woman Evolution, and that wraps up the September Solicits.
Bada bing.
Oof, that was a lot.
Hefty solicits.
There's a lot. There's a few interesting new things in there, though, which is always nice to see.
More importantly, there was no nightmares.